how it's going to play out in general with 7 guys that are used to playing now and proving they can play at this level?
Yeah, it's good competition, whatever you want to call it, but that stuff just works its way out. Whoever's playing well will probably play. That's Butch has been pretty fair from that regard ever since I've known him back in Providence. So it's whoever's playing well will do the job.
You mentioned the 10 games with Brandon. I mean, to have that kind of to establish something. Because you're being a little bit limited here to start, and he's not here. I mean, just to have that chemistry kind of fall back on it. That's where they go.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna probably take a little bit of time for us to get back on that page. Whether I play with Brandon or I jump back in with Kevin, whoever plays with who, it's probably going to take a little bit of time, especially coming back from an injury. But it's definitely nice to have that to fall back on for sure, and we'll use whatever we came up with last year to our advantage, and hopefully it picks up right where we left off.
We're always asking as wingers what it's like to play with Bergie. What is it as the defenseman when you're backing that line in terms of?
Well, it's great because I know where he is, every step of the way. I try to be a guy that knows the game, hopefully a step ahead of when everyone else figures things out. And when I have a center iceman that's helping me out defensively and I know where he is at all times, it's nice to play with. So it makes for a lot of blind passes that hopefully end up on his stick, and then all of a sudden they're away on the rush. So it's great to play with.
When you look back at those 10 games with Brandon, what do you think was clicking at that point?
I just think we were skating so well. I don't even remember the other team coming in on a rush. I think we stopped almost every rush at the blue line, and if they dumped it in on us, we were going back and just breaking pucks out so well. And we weren't spending any time in the D zone. Brandon is such a gifted skater. Takes up so much room on the ice that we were able to funnel players into certain positions where they weren't able to make plays. So I think we were just skating well and reading off one another and just finding each other's tendencies.
You're going to pick up the fighting slack now the Quater's gone?
No, I'm not. Hopefully those days are over for me.
It seemed from a production standpoint, goals, assists, that there's another gear there for Carlo. Almost like he hasn't embraced it, but he's been somewhat hesitant. Did you feel that at all in terms of his game, where it could go, numbers-wise?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, he's a 21-year-old kid. Sometimes people forget about that because he's been in the league for 2 years now, and he's had such a big role on this team, playing with Zdeno and being on the PK and just playing in big positions at the end of games. Yeah, so we got to remember that he's 21, and players oftentimes don't develop certain parts of their games until later. So I think with him, you see a guy that has the raw ability to make plays, and he can see the ice. And it's just about capitalizing and feeling comfortable to make those plays. And I think hopefully the more he plays with me, the more comfortable he will be in moving that puck and getting it into our opponent's hands.
Pretty weird, knowing that camp is going to be split up and those guys are going to be in China the rest of the team for a significant portion of time.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a different feel. It's tough because you see them over there, you see pictures on social media and things like that, and you want to be out there and going out with them, on the ice with them, doing the job. And then we're back here, grinding away as well. So it's definitely a different feel.
Part of you want to be on that trip? Different culture, different place?
I've been there, right? So I've done Beijing and Shanghai a couple years ago. So I've seen parts of what China has to offer, but I think more or less just to be there with the guys and use it as a bonding experience and just go through it together. It would definitely be a fun trip.
What did you think of it there in terms of
it's
different experience, culture?
It's different.
Yeah.
No, I mean, just try to embrace the culture and say yes to anything, whether it's the food you ate or whatnot, or going to different places. And then there's a lot of people over there that want to learn hockey. The kids that we were teaching when I was over there 2 years ago, their skill level was right up there with kids from North America, so it was actually really impressive.
Torey, sorry, late to the party, but you see stuff over the summer, that you could be involved in trade rumors and stuff like that. How do you take it?
You try to ignore it, and then you laugh about certain things. You just focus on what you do as an individual and your job every single day, and whatever happens. It's you know, it's just funny when you can read certain things and realize that there's probably no chance that certain things can happen, and when other people pick up on it, and then all of a sudden it snowballs into a big rumor or something. So those are just things you can't control as an athlete, and it's part of it.
I had a player tell me one time like about that. He said, "Hey, I don't care. It just means people want me." Like it made him feel better about his game. Like if I'm that good, you know.
Yeah, well, okay. Speaking with people, you know, if Gretzky can get traded, anyone can get traded, so it doesn't matter from that perspective. And yeah, you definitely would feel wanted, but okay, I have a job to do here, and I feel that you know, no one else, you know, does the job that I do here, so I wouldn't understand something like that. So it's just something that I'm focusing on from a day-to-day basis.
Thanks.
Thanks for
Yep.